Hey everyone, welcome back. In the world of sales, it's really easy to get caught up in the numbers, the competition, the pressure to outperform. Really, all those things, if you think about it, are a scarcity mindset. Always chasing the next deal, always worried about losing out. But what if there's a better way to play the game? What if instead of focusing on scarcity, we actually embrace abundance? So that's what we're exploring today. The power of an abundance mindset in sales. Because when you believe there's enough success to go around, it truly changes everything. Think about it. In a scarcity mindset, you see your colleagues as competitors. You see your customers as just the next transaction. Your success is, you see your success really like a limited item, right? It's a recipe for stress, burnout, and ultimately underperformance. But in abundance mindset, you see your colleagues as a collaborator. You see your customer as your next partner. And you see your success as an ever expanding field of possibilities. It's a recipe for joy, for fulfillment, and ultimately, extraordinary achievement. And I can't think of a better time where I first was taught this lesson than when I was early on in my insurance career. I'd been in sales for several years, started a career in insurance, and I went to church with someone who was also in the insurance industry. I'm very young at the time. We introduce ourselves to one another. I've always loved asking people what they do. And when he told me he was another insurance agent in town, I remember that scarcity creeping in. And jokingly, I kind of said, well, I guess we're competitors, huh? And I'll never forget what he said to me. He just chuckled and laughed and said, Drew, there's plenty to go around for everybody. Everybody has insurance. Everybody needs it. And there's plenty for you and me. You know what's interesting about that response is because he responded that way, he ended up becoming a friend and a mentor to me and someone I could turn to for help in my insurance career, even though you could have viewed us as competitors. So how do we go ahead and cultivate this abundant mindset? And so it starts with recognizing that scarcity is just a limiting belief. So what are some of those negative thoughts that hold you back? What is it that you're afraid of sharing? Why are you afraid to share your knowledge or what you know with others? Why do you feel threatened when someone else has success? So if we can identify really where those things come from, we can ask ourselves, hey, is this actually really true? Do I have evidence that actually supports these things? And I spoke about it last week, that part of replacing the limiting belief is first identifying it, recognizing it, and replacing it with a new truth or a new affirmation that empowers you and that replaces that. And so, listen, it could be as simple as saying something to yourself like, there's enough success for everyone. I can achieve my goals and support others at the same time. Collaboration can lead to greater results than it can competition. And some of the best people, the best relationships I've had have come from someone you might consider a competitor. The example earlier, another insurance agent at a different office in a different organization. And what's interesting too, with a scarcity mindset, your own teammates on your team in the industry or company you're in can become your competitors if you have a scarcity mindset and if you don't believe there's enough. There's nothing worse than inside of a team or an organization to see salespeople fighting over leads, stealing a lead from each other. That's just not an abundant mindset. So once we can create some new beliefs, we've got to repeat those beliefs to ourselves daily. We've got to visualize those goals. We've got to put ourselves into a good environment. We've got to, surround ourselves with positive influences. And really the second part of this equation to having an abundant mindset is applying it to our sales interactions. So it's not just enough to apply it to our relationships with potential competitors or other salespeople. It's also applying it in the circumstances we have with our clients. And so it's really easy to get caught up in the pressure to close the deal. Maybe you've got a bill to pay. Maybe you have a quota to hit to keep your job. Maybe it's just the competition to outperform. And look, I love competition. I love getting a chance to prove my best, right? But true mastery goes beyond that immediate transaction. It's about building long-term relationships, creating win-win situations. And really, it's about fostering a sense of abundance for everyone involved. So what you can ask yourself is, how can I create more value for my customers? How can I help them achieve their goals? How can I contribute to their success? When you approach sales with an abundant mindset, you create a ripple effect of positivity. Your customers are going to feel valued. Your colleagues, your coworkers, they feel supported. Like, you really will create an environment where everyone can thrive. And listen, I believe abundance isn't just a mindset. It's actually a choice. It's a decision you make every day to focus on the positive, to share your knowledge, to celebrate the success of others. And I've found in my career, when I'm focused more on the value I'm giving and less on the outcome, less on whether or not the deal closes, more on being transparent, more on being honest, having integrity, putting in the work, regardless of the results at the end of the day, it seems like sales never come easier to me. So embrace the abundant mindset, believe in the power of collaboration, even if it's someone outside of your organization, and realize that you can continue to expand your success. It's something that means a lot to me. In fact, one of my real estate businesses, the name of it's Abundant Investments. I have a belief that there's more for all of us and that we can get the things we want. If you're a good salesperson, you're going to show up and you're going to help people get what they want. You're going to show up as a leader. You're going to show up as a guide. You're going to show up as an advocate. I'm Drew Norton, the Everyday Sales Leader, and this is your daily dose of Sales Inception.